Hey everybody, it's Mark, Dr. Deadwax here, back for day 35 of the Inbox Challenge. I know, day 35. You all watched at the beginning because you thought I was going to crack, but I didn't crack. I kept going. I didn't break. Now you're bored. You're not watching, you're not commenting, you're unsubscribing, and that's okay, because I'm spamming the shit out of your inbox every day, and nobody wants to see this every day. So go ahead. It's fine with me. Frank James picked the numbers today. Frank James picked 3 numbers. But I'm going to do 4 because I felt like watching or listening to another record. And today's episode is brought by Cobblestone Stout from Mill Street. This is new in a can. It's a nitrogen-infused can. And I'm going to show this continuously because I want them to send me free cases of this because this is fucking incredible beer. It pours nice, beautiful, creamy head. It's nicer than Guinness. 4.2% alcohol, so it's pretty light. It does a nice cascade when you pour it, just like when you get it pulled from a tap. Happy La Chauchaine to the Fay people. We were at the Doll last night celebrating La Chauchaine, and happy La Chauchaine. Gorgeous. Just came on the market too. It's been available on tap in bars, but it's just... come on. So the first record is McCoy Tyner, Song of the New World. This is 1973 on Milestone. McCoy Tyner played with Coltrane. I think he played with Miles. Kind of played with everybody for a while. Then he went out and became his own band leader. This is Song of the New World, and this is a large band, kind of almost like McCoy Tyner with a big band. And the compositions are, I think they're all or mostly his. Tyner. Oh yeah, he does a cover of Afro Blue, which is phenomenal to open the album. And then his own compositions are great, and the kind of big band atmosphere, it's not like stage swing band, big band stuff. It's just a big band of musicians jamming away and fusioning away. It's a fantastic record. And some of the players that are well known would be Alphonse Mouzon on drums, Sonny Fortune on flute and saxophone, Hubert Laws is on here, John Faddis, Virgil Jones, Cecil Bridgewater. Anyways, I can't recommend this enough. This is phenomenal. McCoy Tyner is kind of phenomenal. You know, almost everything he does is excellent, and yet I got this for like $1 in a dollar bin. Yeah, the cover's a little beat up, and the record's not perfect, but you know, it is what it is. It's McCoy Tyner. It's just brilliant. I went to a record show today, too, so I might show some records when I'm done if I have time, if I don't go like 20 minutes long talking about crap. Next record is Carole King, Tapestry. Now, this is a master sound edition on CBS. Look, it says it's an audiophile pressing. And as we all know, if they say it's an audiophile pressing or if it's 180 grams, well, whatever the fuck it says on here, we just swallow. Just swallow it, we believe it, we pay more for it, right? No, we don't. This is a piece of crap, okay? So the story with this audiophile stuff, this is according to Greg Schnitzer, who served as the Director of Product Development at Mobile Fidelity from 1980 to 1986. CBS Records sent me a catalog and invited me to pick a baker's dozen of titles that I would like to do on vinyl. So I picked lots of neat stuff like Abraxas, Joni Mitchell, 10 Years After, Earth, Wind & Fire, and so on, and ordered the records for tech review. I sent the list of my choices back, and they sent me the records, but I never heard from them again. Several months later, I was cruising a record store, and I see this glitzy rack with the 13 titles I had picked. It said, CBS Master Sound, audiophile pressings, half-speed mastered. Boy, was I pissed. I bought one of each of them and went back to the lab. After I cooled down, I called Gary to see if he could do some listening with me. 30 seconds after dropping the needle on the first disc, we stopped and looked at each other in horror. Then we tried another of the CBS discs. We stopped that one, looked at each other, and laughed till we had tears in our eyes and cramps in our side. CBS had tried to do an end run around us by having us do the artist and repertoire work by picking the records. The problem was that they, apparently, cut the discs at half speed, but didn't adjust their EQ or Dolby systems down an octave. They just cut it at half speed with the real-time mastering notes for processing. Man, it sounded like watermelon seeds shooting out the speakers. These poor guys looked real bad after that, and we looked real good. They never did it right, and eventually they stopped trying. And that is the problem with the CBS Master Sound records. Now, they got Wish You Were Here right, and they got a couple others right, but most of them are just atrocious. And the other thing that isn't widely known about these is they took analog tapes and they converted them to digital before they half-speed mastered them. So, you know, and this is very bright, and that's the issue. Is these are very, very bright. So Carole King, Tapestry, I mean, this is just a masterpiece of a record. She was a songwriter at some place with some guy, and they were famous. I don't remember all the details, okay? And that was a huge hit, and everybody had that record, and every woman's house you went to, that was definitely there too, and it was, you know, I remember making it to that in high school. Good music. You know, but honestly, don't pay extra for the CBS Master Sound records. I got that for $1 from a dollar bin at a show. If you find that record for $1, a dollar bin, buy it. Sell it on eBay, because people are paying like $47 for that. I'm selling that soon. Next record is Mississippi Fred McDowell. Oh, everything I read you about that is posted on Steve Hoffman. Next record is Mississippi Fred McDowell, and this is just a self-titled record, and this is on Everest Records from their archive of folk and jazz music. And there's the back cover of that. Oh, I didn't show you the label of this thing. So there's the half-speed mastered label. And they sold tons of these. I remember when these actually came out, and everybody wanted them. And it's kind of funny to hear that they were trying to do the end run around lo-fi. It's got a little paper in there that tells you how perfect it is. Of course, you know, when you do a little bit of research, you find out it's total crap. So this is kind of like probably these free public domain things, you know, where they put them out on a record. So this is a bunch of stuff that was recorded at 78, and it's been stereo processed, the whole deal. And there's the label. And I really like this kind of blues. This is like one man on an acoustic or steel, National Steel or an acoustic guitar, just kind of singing and doing the blues. However, I don't really enjoy the old archival pressings, and I hate things that are processed into stereo. So this is pretty good. The record's kind of beat up too, but this was $1 at a dealer called me up and invited me over to his house to go through his dollar bins before he took his stuff to a show, which, you know, I said yes. I took like about 100 things out of there for about $60, so they worked out to way less than $1. And that record has Bell Sound in the Deadwax's, and Bell Sound is Bell Sound Labs, Sam Bell, and I've talked about Sam Bell before. He mastered the like the Beatles Red and the Beatles Blue records when they were first released in North America, and I believe he did Abbey Road too. And yet you still want a Wally; they sound better. Mastered by Capital Wally, or WLY. Wally Trucker. You want those over that. And the fourth record is Bee Gees, Cucumber Castle. This is on Atco. This thing has the thickest, I mean, they're all flexy and sadly worn to death. This is another one of these records I got from this guy for $1. And this is beat to shit. I mean, I bought this because the Step Monster was into the Bee Gees, and I've been exploring the non-disco, sappy, sentimental shit that she used to listen to. And so I bought this to hear it, and this is kind of scratched to shit, and it's really noisy and ticky, but the music's kind of cool. I mean, I don't think it's their greatest early record. I think most people would say it was garbage. This is Maurice and Barry. Robin has left the band in a rage. Okay, I'm making that up, but he felt that Stigwood was giving more attention to Barry's music, Barry's songs than his. So he left and put out a solo record, and the two of them went head to head. But this was a made-for-TV movie, kind of like Magical Mystery Tour. And in this movie, it had these guys and a whole bunch of great British comedic actors and Vincent Price, and that it had performances in the movie, in the made-for-TV movie, were besides all these Bee Gees songs, were Lulu performed and Blind Faith performed, and then uncredited people in the episode in the movie were Roger Daltrey, Donovan, Marianne Faithfull, and Mick Jagger. So it was just one of these things where, you know, all of British entertainment did this really crappy show. And it's kind of was released illegally once on VHS, and that was it. But you can go on the YouTube and you can watch the whole thing, and it's absolutely campy, horrible, terrible. It's wonderful. You got to watch it. It's so bad, it is epic. This has you can see it at about 7 o'clock in the Deadwax. It has CTH stamped, and that stands for Columbia Terre Haute. So that means they pressed this record. So that's kind of interesting that Columbia pressed an ad coat, but that happened. And I don't know. This is all. I want another copy of this just because it's so fun and silly. But this is not essential. I think, you know, if you're going to recommend an early Beatles record or early Bee Gees record, it'd probably be Bee Gees first or Odessa. But those are they. So lots of fun. And excellent stuff. Just, it doesn't, the production and stuff kind of drives me away, but this is great. I love that kind of blues. I just wish it was done a little bit better. Fantastic record. Don't buy the Master Sound hype. And this is a giant monster. So that's that. 13 minutes. I went to a record show today. I might as well show you the stuff. I got my Dusty Groove bag, and I had a good day. Actually, I had a really good day. I wasn't going to go. I've been a little bit down yesterday. I wasn't up in my video yesterday, and I apologize for that. But I had a friend pass away, and just a little bummed. He was my age. So today I got this electronic music, Steve Reich. It was $10. I just got some great stuff. I got Brooklyn Bridge, and I was so happy to get this. This was $2. Morse code transmission. This is a French-Canadian kind of psych prog rock band that sang in English from, I think, '69. And this is just a super nice copy on RCA Victor. I've been looking for that forever. And I got this Elise, a sample copy. Although it says this is a sample copy, but it's a sample copy here, but it doesn't say it on the actual record. And the reason why I bought this is because Colin Walcott's on it. I don't know anything about it, but I got the 3 of those for $12. This was 8, and the other 2 were 2 each, but he took a deuce off, so that was great. I looked them up, and I did really well. Octobre, live Chants dans la nuit, Songs in the Night, I think. This is a French-Canadian band. I think they're slightly proggy. That was $1. Avalon, Voice of Life. This is a French, I think it's a French. It might not be, but this is like a Canadian prog kind of thing. I got that for $1. Then I went to a flea market that was next door to the place, and I got Cecil Taylor Unit Structures. This has a scratch on it, and it's on the blue background, white B, and it has, I'm worried it has a little heat damage to the vinyl, so I don't know if that was any good, but I finally got a black saint. See, I nearly got a black lion again. I keep doing that, but I got a black saint. This is David Murray Octet, Murray Steps. And I got another Cecil Taylor unit in dent on Arista. And I got In Pursuit of Blackness, Joe Henderson on Milestone. And I got Lester Bowie's Brass Fantasy on ECM, I Only Have Eyes for You. They had 15 bucks on that. And I got the Hubbard on MPS, and they had 15 bucks on that. And I got King Crimson, 3 of a perfect pair. So all these ones I showed you that I got from the flea market, from unit structures on down, I got for $4 1/4 each. So they came to 65 bucks, and the guy that gave them to me for 30. Can't argue with that. So I thought total I spent 50 bucks for those. 52 bucks. I think that's a pretty good $52 haul. So anyways, cheers, Jamie. Hope you're doing well up there. And crank God's system up. Have a great day, everybody. Keep the record spinning.